Hey kids, I hope you're freshly showered and well hydrated because we're going to talk about Vibrio bacteria. Obviously, the star of the show will be Vibrio cholera, so we'll only briefly mention its less famous siblings, Vulnificus and Parahemolyticus. Welcome to this episode of Pooping and Afraid, where 7 brave contestants battle for this week's grand prize, a plate of sterilized oysters and a 6-pack of ice-cold oral rehydration solution. Vibrio is a comma-shaped bacillus. The board exam loves throwing the old comma clue at us, so take a good long look at this comma-shaped raft. It's red because Vibrio is gram-negative, and the blue rings, as always, signify that this bacteria is oxidase positive. Vibrio cholera causes profuse watery diarrhea, hence the river theme. And I mean profuse. It basically turns you into a butt fountain, spraying up to 20 liters a day. The board exam might also mention its rice water appearance due to flecks of mucus. That's why Amira, a professional soccer player in her off-season, is heave-hoeing a 40-pound bag of rice and making it look easy. There's no way around it. Cholera is caused by inadvertently eating or drinking poo. This means that inadequate water and food sanitation puts people at risk. Cases in the U.S. are rare and usually related to travel or to eating contaminated shellfish. Ugh, Todd, the mild-mannered CPA, is going to regret that challenge in approximately 12 to 24 hours, or even up to 5 days. Vibrio cholera grows best in alkaline media. Yep, it loves hanging out at base camp. This means that in order for it to get past your acidic stomach, you have to ingest an epic ton of it. Unless, of course, you roll out the red carpet with antacids or proton pump inhibitors, then they just tap dance right on down to your intestines. Once it gets there, it's too lazy to directly invade intestinal mucosa. That's why you won't see white or red blood cells in the diarrhea. Instead, V. cholera uses toxin co-regulated pili, like this raft rope, to latch on to enterocytes. Wait, if V. cholera doesn't invade the cells, how does it cause deadly diarrhea? By secreting cholera toxin that invites itself into GI mucosal cells via endocytosis. Once inside, cholera toxin permanently turns on a stimulatory G protein. In other words, it turns on the gas. So what's wrong with that? Well, that rogue G protein activates adenylate cyclase, which ramps up cyclic adenosine monophosphate, or CAMP levels. And that, my friends, makes the gut cells stop absorbing sodium and start leaking chloride and water, hence the salty peanuts boiling on the gas stove. The primary treatment is oral hydration. IV fluids and antibiotics are reserved for severe cases. Okay, that's it for Vibrio cholera. As promised, we'll mention that Vibrio vulnificus and Parahemolyticus both live in marine water and can infect your gut when you eat shellfish and or infect an open wound as you frolic at the beach. And both can cause fatal sepsis. Actually, in the U.S., V. Parahemolyticus is the most common food-related Vibrio infection, and V. vulnificus is the most deadly. And that's it for this episode of Pooping and Afraid. As you can see, there's no real victory when it comes to Vibrio.